Welcome back. You're watching India Now. And good news on the macro front. Trade deficit for the month of November narrows on the back of sharp fall in the oil prices. But India's exports growth falls to 0.8%. Data released by the Commerce Ministry showed imports grew at 4.3%, while the trade deficit fell to $16.7 billion in November. And moving on, the RBI board met for the first time yesterday after Shaktikanta Das took charge as the RBI governor. The board deliberated on key issues like liquidity, credit growth, and expressed the need to examine the governance framework of the RBI. Neha Bothra has been tracking these developments and takes us through the key highlights of the board meet. She filed this report earlier.
The RBI board met today, the first time after Shaktikanta Das took charge as RBI governor. An important board meeting because it took over much of the unfinished agenda from the last board meeting. As far as the meeting today is concerned, the highlight was the fact when Reserve Bank of India highlighted that there has been deliberation on the governance framework of RBI. This was one area where it was felt that more examination was required. Remember, we have been telling you that as far as governance issues at RBI are concerned, this has been a topic of deliberation to really define what the relationship between the RBI, the central bank and the board should be. This was one area that was very keenly discussed in the board meeting today. Other areas of discussion include global and domestic challenges as far as the economy is concerned. Also deliberations not just on currency management but also to get an understanding of what really banks were facing on the liquidity front. Liquidity was a key area of discussion, as was credit growth. Remember, the government has been of the view that more can be done to boost lending in the economy by supporting NBFCs to support growth at this point. All these areas were discussed in the board meeting today, and there was an examination and discussion around the draft report of the sectoral trends being seen in the banking space. All in all, a very preliminary discussion on many subjects at the board meeting today, but Reserve Bank of India did say that many issues were touched upon and will be deliberated further when the board meets in January next time. Remember that Urjit Patel resigned a few days ago, and the board did place appreciation for Urjit Patel for his stint at RBI as Deputy Governor and Governor. While there do seem to be signs that the relationship between the government, the RBI and the board has eased to a large extent, the animosity, the hostility that we had seen over the past couple of months does not seem to be as acute at this point. But of course, the main question being asked by most people is, how will the credibility, autonomy and independence of the RBI fare at this point after Urjit Patel left in circumstances that showed that perhaps the autonomy of the central bank was under threat?